How's it going, everyone? We've got some major Ananta updates to go over in this video. There is a word from the producer of Ananta that is going around, and a lot of different insights into the development of the game. Obviously, there was yet another lengthy gameplay video that was revealed. About 10 minutes of gameplay has dropped as a part of that. It's a significant gameplay video showcasing what seems to be some of the early portion of the game and gives you more insight into the gameplay and definitely getting vibes of some other games. There's some scripted sequences there as well, but I think that works. You can have some of that for sure, and if you want some narrative depth into the game, missions like that I do think make a lot of sense. But man, this video looked incredible, and the game has definitely surged in a lot of interest as it has cracked a major milestone for its pre-registrations. We'll talk that. But as noted, a word from the producer of Ananta. Let me get straight to the point. Ananta is fundamentally an anime-style mobile game. This generation of live operation games owes gratitude to Genshin players' early choices, which paved the way for us to wield a greater technical prowess in crafting pure content-driven experiences. Standing on the shoulders of giants, we're determined to push farther. Essentially saying that Genshin Impact went through a lot of the early period of not knowing how fundamentally it was the best way to design games like this and how to monetize games like this. Genshin Impact, obviously a colossal success at this stage of the game. And speaking of monetization, it was noted regarding monetization, yes, we designed this from day one as a cosmetics-only model. That's the thing that I think some people are getting lost on. Some people are saying it's not a gacha game. There are gacha elements to the game, however, they aren't being implemented in the same way that other gacha games have done it, where gacha is tied to unlocking the various characters throughout the game. The gacha elements in this game are tied to unlocking cosmetics, some vehicles, housing options, things of that nature seem to be what the gacha elements are tied to. So there is a gacha aspect to it, but it's not tied to the characters, which was done in the past, and really, that was the main way gacha players got drawn into spending money on these gacha games. We'll see, because at the end of the day, the game needs to be profitable. I think if the fundamentals of the game are good, people are gonna spend money regardless. I don't think in a free-to-play game that people should be complaining that monetization is in the game. It's a business at the end of the day. They gotta make money. However, there's a happy medium of doing the monetization in a way that, you know, people will want to spend money on, but at the same time, it's not altering the game. People can still make progress, and it's an enjoyable game. And in fact, I think building that goodwill and saying that, hey, you'll be able to play this game for free, we're not gonna lock you out of a lot of meaningful content and things of that nature, will build that goodwill that will lead people to spend money on the game from the standpoint of, hey, I enjoy this game so much, you guys did a solid by not locking me out of content. Here's a couple dollars or a couple bucks, however much you want to spend. You get the idea. Immersively experiencing diverse characters, stories, and lifestyles within the world is the gameplay. An urban open world's essence lies in letting players live a second life to dream the impossible. If our information update seems sparse, literally one devlog per year, it's because we're sweating in development. It's still accompanied by imperfections. But perhaps none of this matters compared to our original vow. Could ordinary devs like us create something rivaling console masterpieces? At this point, I can't help but think, if we end up failing spectacularly in the future, won't we just become complete clowns? But now that we're here, we'll keep focused. The rest will let Resonance find its own path. Ananta has been getting a lot of steam recently, and that steam continues to build as they have dropped a brand new gameplay video. The company going belly up immediately after reporting in for duty, blowing up on the internet after dealing with a maniac chaos causing a traffic jam. Needless to say, upon arriving in Nova City, the new captain has to deal with his fair share of headaches. To top it all off, he's utterly unfamiliar with his new home. Only one thing is for certain: there are some tough days ahead. This is the brand new 10-minute Ananta gameplay video showcasing some of the crazy driving, the shooting, which I have to say, some of the sound design aspects at this point I'm not completely sold on for some of the you know, gameplay and whatnot, but the driving and the exploration I think looks fantastic. And also, towards the end of the gameplay video, you get a little bit of a sequence with the captain swinging around, and I gotta say, there's a scripted sequence that looks like it's something straight out of Marvel Spider-Man with the truck and just the utilization of the webs. Look, hopefully, you know, we don't gotta deal with any Nintendo type of stuff going on here. I don't think anything's gonna happen. I mean, let's be real. Ananta is definitely taking inspiration from a variety of different games. I've been seeing stuff about it compared to Genshin, Grand Theft Auto, Spider-Man, and you're talking about all of those games in some sort of combination. I mean, I would have never really thought of that as something in a game, but yeah, Ananta is doing it, and it looks outstanding. And I do know that there is this element of, this is too good to be true. This game is free to play. It looks the way it does. The visual style is awesome. It's not gonna have egregious monetization, which, you know, egregious monetization, it is gonna be a very subjective thing. Like, it could have cosmetics that are very, very expensive to get, but ultimately, do you care about that? That's up to you. And, you know, that's something we'll get more insight on as we get closer into the release of the game. But I do see the sentiment of this game is too good to be true starting to become a prevailing discussion point. But now that we're actually getting lengthy gameplay demos, like, it was one thing when we were getting the quick gameplay trailers, and now that we have a 10-minute gameplay demo, it's getting millions of views on PlayStation's official website. We know that it'll be coming out sometime in the future. I would imagine in 2026. I don't know if it's gonna be, you know, in its full release in 26, if it'll be in some sort of beta version, but I would imagine that based on the fact that they're revealing this much gameplay, a 2026 release seems likely, and it would be really interesting if Grand Theft Auto 6 and this game came out in the same year, just because you know that's gonna be a prevailing talking point, especially if GTA 6 ends up being this $100 game and Ananta is just available as a free-to-play game, obviously with monetization elements of its own. But let's be honest here, GTA 6 is gonna have a ton of monetization elements as well. I just think, you know, there has been this big talking point of, oh, we don't want to go head-to-head with GTA 6. In the case of Ananta, I actually think it would build a lot more interest, and it would be a discussion point if Ananta came out around the same time as GTA 6. And GTA 6, I know, is scheduled for May of 26, but I could see it end up getting delayed into the fall, and the fall is probably a likely window for Ananta as well. Definitely pushing the cart before the horse a little bit too much, but I just think, honestly, for a game like this, I don't think it would be that bad of an idea to go around the same time as GTA. And a lot of people would say I'm crazy on that, but GTA is not coming out on PC either. Ananta's going to be available on PS5, mobile devices, and PC, and it would give PC players another reason to rally around this game, being like, hey, Rockstar's not going to give us GTA right away. Why don't we go play this anime GTA with Spider-Man elements as well? And it's a free-to-play game. Like, I think it would have a lot of interest if you did it that way. And Ananta is a very specific game in that it fits that criteria. I'm not saying, you know, for X game or Y game to come out around the same time as GTA. I totally understand why some developers want to move away from that, but Ananta, I think, is going to have inherently a lot of interest. And speaking of a lot of interest, Ananta has surpassed 10 million pre-registrations after the new trailer. So this game already has a ton of interest. I see the numbers it's pulling on PlayStation, and bear in mind, it's a brand new IP. This is one of those games that's just gonna build and build in momentum as long as they continue the content rollout and continue giving us updates. I think by the time the game actually comes out, that's when we're gonna get a good idea of how big this game is gonna be. But already you can tell that it's shaping up to be a pretty massive game, and it's free to play at the end of the day, and they're being transparent about the monetization, and they're giving you decent updates, and also speaking on why they haven't been giving you a lot of updates, but the game has been making progress. I am stoked for the game, cannot wait for it. Hopefully we'll hear more in 2026, but that's gonna do it for me. Let me know your thoughts on Ananta, and as more information rolls out, we will certainly keep you guys updated. There's a lot to sink your teeth into in that 10-minute gameplay video, so certainly check that out for yourself, and we'll break that down more in future content. But again, your thoughts down below, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.